Yeah, and if anyone's looking online, I apologize that it won't be fully recorded due to lack of battery. But if you ever look back, there's the previous one from the last set of lessons, which would be lesson 2 as well. Um, any questions before I get into things from just your brain working through things over the week? Did it all go okay? I hope. All right. So before we truly begin, let's sing the scale up and down. That way we just make sure that you guys know what's going on. So, ni, that'll be our ni. Ni, pa, vu, ga, vi, te, zo, ni, zo, ke, vi, ga, vu, pa, ni. All right.
Going backwards is a lot harder.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought I had
a
it.
lot of trouble
I thought I had it.
doing it by
I don't.
myself backwards.
That's really.
Shall we do it again backwards? Or?
Yes, we should
And
probably.
we'll walk kind of through these little scale exercises that I've kind of devised. Well, I haven't devised. I just translated into Byzantine words. So we'll work through those. But anyone remember how many symbols, up and down symbols, that we have to learn in general?
Ooh.
Total?
Yeah.
Including ones we haven't learned yet?
Well, there's only there's a finite number.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot more than
But you
we
didn't
learned.
show us all of them. did you?
No, I showed you 3, I think. No, I showed you 5.
9.
10. Yeah. So we already learned this guy, right? Isan,
Mm-hmm.
which means what?
It stays the same or start.
Yeah.
Or start.
What?
Or start.
Okay.
Or start. It also means start.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or you said okay like.
Well, I've never heard it like that, and I would say stay the same. Start doesn't. I don't know. Start doesn't really make sense to me. But this one I would just say equals +0, and then this one the oligon means
Up 1.
up 1. Yeah. And then we had apostrophos,
Down one.
down 1, and then we had other guys here. We had our kendimata, which
+1 unstressed.
+1 unstressed, yeah. And then we had our patasdi, which also means fluttering +1.
Stressed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and stressed. So this is stressed, and then this one unstressed. Okay, so we already have 5.
And here we are.
So we have 5 more. So and the other ones that I said and that I was correct last time was you have this guy, you have this guy, then you have this guy, you have this guy, and you have this guy. So this is what is to come, and we'll get to this guy today, and we'll get to this guy today, and then we'll only have 3 left. So we'll make our headway. So before we get into some of the actual notation exercises, and we'll get through a good bunch today, do you have the exercise for learning the note names? All right. So has anyone looked at this or? Okay, cool. So essentially, we'll do them pretty slowly, but eventually, in Western music, people get these to be a very quick tempo. So, let's say number 1, it would be like ni pa ni, but eventually people are like ni pa fu pa ni pa fu ga, so that you know that you actually know what's going on. And the same with all the rest of them. That eventually they just, if you can do them very quickly, then you don't have to think about them anymore. So, essentially, just read it as it's written and sing the right pitch with me. So number 1. Ni pa ni pa vu pa ni pa vu ga vu pa ni pa vu ga di ga vu pa ni pa vu ke di ka vo pa ni ni pa vo ga di ke zo ni zo ke di ga vo pa ni. All right, easy. Especially because it's written for you. Number two. And we'll only probably do maybe one, two, maybe three. The rest are kind of for you guys if you're interested. So, or if I really think that it's helpful. So number two. Ni pa vo ga di ke zo ni pa ni So, is that okay?
It's confusing because it apparently ascribes to these absolute values as opposed to just reading the music.
Well, now we're just reading the names of the scales.
Yeah.
And this is just a way of getting used to the names. And mostly for a Western audience, because I never heard about Nipavu until, until I started learning this stuff. Let's do number three, and then we'll skip on to some actual things. So number three. Ni pa vo pa ni pa vo ga vo pa vo ga di ga vo ga di ke di ga di ke zo ke di ke zo ni zo ke zo ni pa ni zo ni pa ni zo ni. Now I understand what you meant. That's right, in the instructions I say pick a comfortable knee and then chant the correct pitches of the other notes using a Western major scale. So, because since no one knows any scales right now anyway, the only scale that people know is a Western major scale.
It's do re mi.
So
this becomes do re mi and becomes a.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, this is actually, this is what, when I was talking to my mom about how to teach solfege, because she taught children, and she was like, well, I always get them, like do, re, mi, fa, re, mi, do, and we just go through it, and she's like, why don't you just do that with ni, pa? And I found it helpful for myself.
When you're a child and you get used to Western music, you ascribe in your mind a pretty absolute value to what that ni is.
You mean in location?
Because we're used to that scale.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the only way to mix it up a little bit would be to maybe start me someplace else.
Oh yeah.
With the next exercise.
Oh. Mm-hmm. That's what normally throughout a lot of the things I'll repitch just to show that ni is relative.
Not diatonic or whatever. The next time.
I would never switch. I would never switch. Not right now.
Yeah.
No, it's too new. Especially if someone with a lot of converts, like we had a lot of my friends in Pittsburgh had